Good afternoon, everybody. This is Holton Bugs. I am the Chief Visionary Officer from Organo, and today is an opportunity call that we're doing as we have termed our Red Zone Blitz call. So I want to welcome all of our guests that we have on the call today, all of our distributors, and those of you here for the very first time, or maybe you've been on one of our previous calls and you decided to come back, and maybe you've also invited someone to the call as well. And I want to go ahead and make sure that I am actually live on camera as well. Let me make sure here. If I could get let's see here. If I can get and make sure that someone sends me just a quick text message real quick to make sure that that I can actually be viewed here. Want to make sure everybody can actually see me on the call, and to make sure my screen is crystal clear and my audio is crystal clear. So if I can get a quick text message. There we go. I appreciate it. All right. Yes, I am on video, and I am on live as well on audio. Wonderful, wonderful. Well, thank you so much for coming to this call. And what I want to do, ladies and gentlemen, in the next few minutes is really share a concept, a business concept that I actually had a chance of being introduced to approximately 10 and a half years, almost 10 and a half years ago. And I want to share with you what the benefits have been over the previous 10 years and be able to share some of the success stories of other people who've actually joined me in this entire process as well. So those of you who are on the call right now, if you're here for the very first time, let me go ahead and give you an idea of what I'd like for you to do to best maximize the information that you're going to hear today. I'd like for you to make sure that you get into a quiet place, turn all of your televisions off, turn all of your radios off. If you've got dogs or kids or whatever it is that may be disruptive, if you can have someone else to actually watch them at this moment, it will be great for you to have them in a place right now, whereas where you cannot be distracted. The information that I'm about to share with you in a few moments, I believe it can actually be life-changing, because it was life-changing for me when I had a chance to the very first time to see this opportunity called Organo. And I believe I can be very effective without being eternal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get right on into our information. I'm calling in right now from my home in Houston, Texas. And as I mentioned to you before, I'm the Chief Visionary Officer of Organo. When I first got started with Organo, I started off as a distributor. And within a very short period of time, I achieved the pinnacle level of success that we call Crown Ambassador Diamond in our company. And from that time, I actually joined the corporate team so that I can actually blend much of what the expectations were from the field and much of the expectations from the corporate, and blend those two together. And what happened, ladies and gentlemen, has been a phenomenal success with myself and many of our team members on the corporate end, and also many of the team members that we have on the distributor end have actually come together and have actually designed what I believe is one of the most effective and impactful success stories for people in all areas of the world. In over 40 plus countries around the world, we have success stories. One of the things I want to get into now is kind of share with you a little bit of why you may be on this call here, and kind of give you an idea of what I was really looking for when I first got started with the industry of network marketing and what I really wanted to accomplish here. And so if you can bear with me for a moment here, I want to just kind of go through a couple of scenarios and kind of share with you some of the people who are on this call who are here for different purposes. I find that many people are here, some who are here because they want to make part-time income, some who are here because they want to make a full-time income, some who are here because they've actually seen the big dream and they've seen the realities of what's possible, and they want to create tremendous amounts of wealth. And ladies and gentlemen, regardless of what your reason is, my goal is to give you a vehicle, to share with you a tool that many people have chosen to satisfy all of those desires. If you take a look at the screen, I want to talk to you about two circles that we all have in our life. The first circle that I've drawn on the screen is what's called the reality circle. That reality circle is currently the way that you and I both live today. See, when I grew up, the tools that I was given from my mom was go to school, get a good education, so one day you can get a good job. And that was the only reality that I knew, because nobody in my family had a college education. Nobody in my family were very, very successful at business. Nobody had crossed over on the other side of money and showed me a lifestyle that was desired. And so I was the very first one. Maybe you're in the same position. Or maybe you have gone through college. Maybe you've been out there in the corporate world for 5, 10, 15 years, coming to find out that maybe your ladder was simply leaning up against the wrong wall. Regardless of what those reasons are, we all have what's called our reality circle. Maybe you're very successful right now. You're making all the money that you can stand, but your time is completely gone. I had a good friend and neighbor of mine who actually lived about 3 houses down from me. It signed an over $100 million contract. But one of the things that he had at his workplace is he had pictures and photos of his children at different ages because he was never able to see them. So he was financially rich, but he was time poor, and that still lacked what he called lifestyle. And so today, ladies and gentlemen, I want to share with you what lifestyle is really all about. It's about being able to have money. It's also about being able to have time. Put both of those together. That's what we call lifestyle. That reality circle that you have today, find out what's in your reality circle. Some of you may be waking up right now at times in the morning that you don't want to wake up, and maybe going to bed at a time that you really don't want to go to bed because someone else is actually controlling your destiny. But one of the challenges that I found with our reality circle is this, is that one of the reasons that most people don't achieve their dreams is because in that reality circle that we also have what's called a board of directors, if you know what I mean. That board of directors typically consists of people like neighbors, people like friends, associates, maybe even your parents and loved ones, people who actually love you. Those are the people that we typically go to for advice. But the advice that they're going to give is basically the advice that got them in the situation that they're in. And that's why most of us remain in our reality circle. If you take a look at the second circle we have in our life, it's called the dream circle. Now that dream circle, all the things that we wanted when we were children, when we were kids, when we were coming up, and maybe if you were like me, you played that game called That's My Car. And that was when I was riding on the back of a school bus, we'd always look out the window and see a Mercedes or see a Corvette or some really, really nice car. And we'd point and say, that's my car, because it was typically those things that were way outside of the realm of where we lived in reality, but we always had a dream of having those things. See, that reality circle is another name for that circle. It can also be called the comfort zone. And many of you know what I'm talking about. Some of us, when we get into corporate world and we've been working 20, 30 years in corporate America and things haven't changed, we become so comfortable because we don't know of another way or another path to go out and accomplish our dreams. And we think it's too late because we can't go back to school, or we feel that we don't want to go back to school and get a different degree to start off at the bottom again. We feel that maybe we're getting too old and the company's looking for younger, new ideas and people with more energy, people who have less responsibilities. And what we tend to do is just settle in that reality that we have, and we just exist and we coast through life. But ladies and gentlemen, if you notice, there's a big difference as well. There's a gap between that reality circle and that dream circle. And if you see that gap, that's because our dreams and our realities live in two completely different places in the world. But the biggest reason for that gap is because of what we call incorrect information. You know, as I told you, my mom gave me incorrect information. She taught me to go to school, get a good education so I can get a good job. And that's what I did. I went off to go to school. I went to engineering school, and I just knew I was going to accomplish everything that I wanted as an engineer. Quickly in my internships, I found out that people who had been working there 30 years longer than I had, that was the lifestyle that I was going to have had I stayed there for 30 years. I quickly realized that my mother was incorrect. She loved me. She cared for me. She wanted the best for me, but she gave me incorrect information. And ladies and gentlemen, where you are today in your reality circle, if there's something that you are missing professionally, if there's something that you're missing from a family perspective, or maybe a health perspective, I can tell you this, the majority of it sums up to having incorrect information. My goal over the next 15 minutes is to share with you the right information, the correct information, so that you can see both your dreams and your realities in the same circle. You know, now on this call here, I want to go ahead and let you know from the very beginning, this is a very casual call, and I don't profess that I'm going to give you any guarantees of income. I won't profess that I'll guarantee you anything in terms of how much money you're actually going to make in our business. I want to go ahead and let you know that the income that you can earn in Organo is going to be in direct proportion to the efforts that you place into the business, the coaching and the training, and the productivity that you actually develop within selling products and obviously building your team. But I can tell you right now, and I'll share with you some examples of how widespread these results can actually be in people who've actually benefited tremendously from Organo. I want to go ahead and now talk to you about our vehicle, the vehicle, and giving you some of the correct information that will be displayed today so that you'll really understand and have an idea of what's really possible with the Organo opportunity. Hopefully somebody has possibly shared our concept with you, or maybe they've even shared some of our product with you. I'm going to go through some of our product lines so that you'll understand the products that we actually market, different products that we actually sell, the benefits of these products, and why people all over the world are actually choosing to get involved with the Organo business. If you take a look at it right now, our business is involved in 4 different industries. The first industry that we're involved with, number 1, is the coffee industry. I'll talk a little bit about the coffee industry among some other industries. We're involved in health and wellness. Our business is all based on the internet, and it's a home-based business. What that means is this, is that there's no requirements for you to quit your current job. There's no requirements for you to open up a facility or have large expenditures for you to actually start a business. You can start your business right from home. To give you an example of what happened with me, I started this business right from my home. I invited 16 people over to my home to hear about how I was actually going to distribute a great tasting coffee that had benefits that no other coffee in the world would have. And in that meeting, what happened with me is I had 16 people in attendance. I had 8 of the people who thought I was crazy because I wasn't a coffee drinker, and they said no. And the other 8 people thought I was crazy, but they thought I was crazy enough to make it actually work. And ladies and gentlemen, from those 8 people, we put together a system in place that I'll share with you a little bit later. And in less than 6 years, right from my home with no employees out except one, my assistant, I was able to build over $1 billion, with the B, $1 billion in revenue through my organization just working from home. Now, I want you to understand, I made a pretty nice percentage of that $1 billion, which translated into my own personal income. And so I want you to understand that, yeah, we're doing this meeting over Zoom and we're doing it in a casual atmosphere, but I don't want you to think there's anything casual about what the potential is when it comes to Organo. As I mentioned to you before, we're also in the coffee industry. If you take a look at the coffee industry itself and many of the different statistics and the results with regard to coffee, ladies and gentlemen, is an industry category by itself, which is a multi-billion dollar industry. It's a beverage that people wake up in the morning and they consume on their own without any hesitation whatsoever. When I started to take a look at why would I get involved in the coffee business when I was not a coffee drinker, I listened to someone who was very, very, very successful. And when I started watching him do a webinar, he said something that was very, very important. He says, things that you like, you should make them your hobby. Things that the world like, you should make it your business. And that was when I got the courage to start myself a coffee business, even though I didn't drink coffee myself. When you take a look at it today, ladies and gentlemen, over 1.6 billion cups of coffee are consumed every single day, and over 100 million people drink between 3 to 5 cups of coffee a day themselves. The example that I have on our screen right now is our premium latte coffee that already has its cream and it has sugar already mixed in. Simply empty the contents of that sachet into 8 to 10 ounces of hot water, stir it, and what you'll actually receive is a gourmet cup of coffee that has some of the most amazing benefits that you can actually imagine. I want to talk to you now about why so many people are actually flocking to the Organo coffee. We not only have the latte, but we have our gourmet black, we have our mocha, we have a hot chocolate, we've got our Cafe Supreme that gives you a great boost of energy. But one of the common denominators between all of the products that we share in Organo, ladies and gentlemen, is a product or an herb that's called Ganoderma. Ganoderma is an herb that's grown over in China. It's got over 4,000 years of history behind it. Some even say many more years than that. But one of the things about Ganoderma is that it was received or known as what we call Chinese royalty. It was typically like their traditional Chinese medicine that they would operate from. And it was very, very, very rare to come across Ganoderma. What we've been able to do, one of our partners, our CEO, has been able to partner with research scientists who've been able to go out and put together a formula to infuse this particular Ganoderma, this herb that's grown over in China, into great tasting coffee, hot chocolate, and beverages that people all over the world will like. Remember, I told you in the beginning, I didn't drink coffee, but that industry expert that I was listening to told me that products that I like, make it a hobby, but products that the world like, make it a business. His name was Warren Buffett. If you think about Warren Buffett, he probably knows a little bit more than you and I when it comes to business. And that's when I actually got introduced. This product that you see here, the latte, was the very first product that I actually received. And I want to share with you some of the benefits, some testimonials that have actually taken place as a result of using this coffee. What we've actually found out was this. We found out that most people don't wake up in the morning patting themselves on the chest, beating themselves on the chest because they want to go out and consume nutritional supplements. But we do find that the majority of the people, as I mentioned, over 100 million people consume 3 to 5 cups of coffee a day. That means it's a habit. What I've realized in the industry of network marketing and business is this, is that if you sell products to people that they need, you'll make money. But if you offer products to people that they actually want, you'll actually make a fortune. And ladies and gentlemen, I didn't only want to make money, I was looking to make a fortune. For those of you who are actually on this call, my question for you is this: do you or anybody you know drink coffee or tea at least occasionally? Ladies and gentlemen, that question alone has allowed me to build a business all over the entire world because I've taught people to ask that question, which is a part of our system of how we actually go out and get customers. But why is it that so many people who actually take our coffee for the very first time come back over and over and over and over and over and over and over again? It's because of what I've been talking about recently, which is called the Ganoderma. The Ganoderma, ladies and gentlemen, that herb, which is grown in China, has some of the most incredible antioxidant effects of any herb that you'll ever ingest or actually take for your body. It's got properties that allow you to heal much faster from injury. It has properties that allow you to have more energy. It supports and boosts the immune system with some amazing things that actually take place. Well, I'm not a doctor, so I can't give you what I call all of the proper documentation or the medical philosophy behind Ganoderma because it's not a drug. It's not something we prescribe. And we make no claims about it curing anything. What Ganoderma does, it simply goes into your body and allows your body to get back to a state called homeostasis. If you remember when you were a little kid, when you were born, everything was all in balance. And that's the homeostasis property that your body's in. But what happens is this: as soon as we're born, we take our first breath of toxic air. We take our first drink of toxic water, and then we start eating toxic foods, which leaves our bodies very, very toxic. Have you paid attention to your body lately? Have you noticed that you probably get tired when you don't think you should? Have you noticed yourself needing naps when before you didn't need naps? Have you noticed on television the number of drugs that they've actually introduced? Because all of these diseases that didn't exist 10, 15 years ago, they currently exist today. Why? Because we're sicker and sicker and sicker because of the quality of the foods, the quality of the air, and the quality of the water that we drink. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me kind of give you a more graphic idea of how Ganoderma works. And then I'll share with you some photos and some before and afters of people who've actually been able to use our products so that you'll see what has actually happened and how their lives have actually changed. Now, remember, I want you to imagine taking a swimming pool and imagining a swimming pool that you have that hadn't been cleaned for 2 to 3 weeks or maybe even 4 weeks or even longer. What color does it turn? Well, it actually turns green. I want to give you firsthand experience. There's a home, my dream home, that I actually bought about 6 years ago. And when we started the process of rebuilding this home, I noticed that the previous owner had never taken care of the pool. If you see that photo right there, that's the view from my home, but I want you to take a look at that pool. That's a pool that hadn't been treated. That's a pool that's actually been abused. That's a pool that's actually been abandoned. If you see it, there's green stuff in there. The water is completely unhealthy. And I want you to ask yourself, would you take a swim in a pool like that? Absolutely not. Why? Because you can tell that there's so many different toxins in there. The acidity is very high, and the green stuff has come because of the toxins. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, nobody ever went and dumped green stuff into the pool. But because the toxins are there and the acidity is there, it attracts bacteria, it attracts algae, it attracts things that are unhealthy for the body. Now, you may be saying, well, what does a swimming pool have to do with coffee and Ganoderma? It has everything to do with it. Because ladies and gentlemen, whether you know it or not, your body is basically 75% water. You're like a swimming pool actually wrapped in flesh. And the only reason many of you don't pay attention to your own body system is because you can't see it. This is why I put a graphic picture up there. Typically, what do you have to do to make it right? Well, if you have a swimming pool, you call the pool guy comes over and they have to shock the pool. That means they're going to put agents in the pool that will actually neutralize bacteria, neutralize the toxicity, and bring the pH up to a balanced level. And once they've actually done that, maybe 24 hours to 48 hours later, you'll have a healthier body of water allowing you to swim. Now take one last look at this photo here, because I want you to see how your swimming pool looks in your own system here. But I want you to also understand the premise of what Ganoderma actually does and why people feel so much healthier. This second photo is the exact same swimming pool. That second photo was taken after I had the pool cleaned up. I had people come in, bring chemicals, do everything that they're supposed to do, clean it out, because it's now healthy for anyone to actually take a swim. You know, one of the things that I noticed is that most people would treat their swimming pools and their little fish aquarium better than they'll actually treat themselves. And that's also one of the biggest reasons many of us are no longer healthy. And so using that graphic example, I hope you understand why you need Ganoderma in your system. Ladies and gentlemen, the thing that I tell people is this here. You're going to wake up every morning. Most of you are going to drink coffee. My suggestion is put Ganoderma in your system. A minimum of 3 times a day will start the process of allowing you to neutralize many of the acids, neutralize many of the toxins that are in your system. I want to give you some more examples of what's taken place with people who've actually used these products, sharing with you that when that swimming pool in your system is clean, that's when homeostasis is actually able to take place, and many of us are able to now eliminate many of the illnesses and issues that we have. I want to show you this photo here of this young girl. She's about 14 years old, and she was suffering from an embarrassing situation with her knees and her elbows and her wrists and her ankles. Now, I want you to imagine being 14 years old and this is your lifestyle. One of my distributors, Cynthia Cook, actually saw this young lady and offered her a solution. She knew that there was something wrong with this young girl's insides. So she offered her she offered her grandmother just to use the Ganoderma soap that we have, and told her to bathe her granddaughter 3 times a day. Now, this young girl right here never wanted to play with other kids, had an embarrassing situation. Other kids didn't want to play with her as well. And so just imagine what the self-image was like. But after using the Ganoderma soap just for about 2 weeks, that was a result that was much, much, much different. My question for you is, do you think that the grandmother or this young girl will ever stop using the Organo product? I want to give you another one that's pretty graphic as well. This is a 15-year-old girl. Now just imagine here. Just imagine who would want to associate and play with this young girl. I want you to imagine how she felt. I want you to imagine the feeling of having no friends whatsoever. I want you to imagine the feeling of being lonely, eating lunch at school by yourself, standing or sitting in the corner because no one wants to associate with you because of an issue that you can't even solve yourself. And ladies and gentlemen, we never prescribed any of our products for this young girl. Her parents simply gave her some hot chocolate and she started drinking the hot chocolate. And what happened is her swimming pool now started to detoxify. Many of the toxins in her body started to leave, and now homeostasis was taking place. And because those toxins were not present in her life, these issues weren't present anymore. And just over 3 weeks later, that was the result. Now imagine the confidence that this young girl has. Imagine now she doesn't have issues at all talking with friends or friends wanting to play with her because of the issues that she couldn't even control. I'll give you one more for example. Here's an adult. Here's a young lady, and these are real live people. These are not photos that we've taken from the internet or people that we've hired. These are real life customers and distributors. Now I want you to imagine this lady right here. I want you to imagine being single, not necessarily having a great relationship, not necessarily having great conversations, because you don't believe people are taking you seriously because they're looking more at your face than they're paying attention to your conversation. The embarrassment that you feel. Going out on group trips was pretty much a thing that she would not do at all because she knew that everybody would be staring at her face versus listening to her or participating with the group. She started drinking the Organo black coffee. And what happened? See, every one of our products has the Ganoderma in it. And so the Ganoderma started to go to work on her system, detoxifying her system, eliminating many of the toxins that were causing this issue that she was having with her face. And because of that, ladies and gentlemen, what happened just about over 6 weeks later, about almost 6 months later, if you take a look at her now, she has no issues whatsoever. The confidence that she has now in a dating life is now there. The confidence that she has of going out there, not having embarrassing moments are there. So what I'm telling you is this, is that not only Organo actually solves a lot of issues, it changes people's lives. I can tell you that I used to suffer with seasonal allergies, whereas I would get bloodshot red eyes, scratchy throat, runny nose, 4 to 5 allergy shots per year. Right now is the heaviest pollen season. You can't even see it right now, but on my back porch, it was completely full of pollen. But this will be the time that I would not be able to walk outside without sneezing at least 5 to 10 times every single minute. But because, ladies and gentlemen, Ganoderma is in my system, my swimming pool is completely clean, it doesn't bother me anymore. I'm right now about 4 months overdue for my allergy shot, but I haven't needed to have an allergy shot because I'm keeping Ganoderma in my system multiple times every single day. Now, that's the coffee industry, which is one of our products. But remember, the main ingredient that we market is the Ganoderma. There's other products that we market as well that we've gotten into recently, which is in the health and wellness industry, which is weight loss. Weight loss is absolutely huge. When you take a look at it today, ladies and gentlemen, all over the world, people are becoming more and more obese. Organo has developed a weight management product that is absolutely incredible. We've developed a product, ladies and gentlemen, that people all over the world are absolutely loving. They love not only what it does, but most importantly, they love the taste of this product. I will share with you some of the stories of the people who've actually been able to use this particular product that we have called OGX Phoenix and have absolutely changed and transformed their lives. If you take a look at our very first person here, Jolene actually was 80 pounds heavier prior to OGX. Now, one of the reasons that people are maintaining the weight is because Organo took 2 years to develop a formula, and we found out through the research of why is it that people go back and stop using weight management protein shakes. One of the biggest reasons is because of the taste. The second biggest reason is because of the texture of how it actually feels when a person actually consumes that product. Well, we solved it. Ladies and gentlemen, simply, we've got a product that I would term to be a birthday cake in liquid form, if you can really understand that and visualize that. And so people are consuming these products on a daily basis. If you just want to maintain weight, all you do is just take this OGX shake, replace 1 meal, and maintain the weight that you have and lose weight gradually. But if you want to have a life-changing experience without crashing and without going through these crazy diets and eating all of these different foods that you know you may not be able to afford, then what you do is you just take 2 of the shakes per day, replace 2 meals, and still maintain the snacks that you were going to eat. You don't have to change whatever it is that you're eating outside of replacing 2 meals with one of these shakes, but still maintaining your snacks. So what we're finding is that people are drinking the shakes, they're feeling full and not feeling like they have to have something to eat, and so they're losing the weight. Take a look at Crystal. Crystal lost 88 pounds. 88 pounds just from using the Organo or the Organo shake. Now, here's the thing. The majority of the people that I'm sharing with you, they didn't start going to the gym. They didn't go out and spend money on a gym membership and start working out 5 times a day to lose all of this weight. However, we do recommend maintaining a healthy, active lifestyle. They simply use that product that Crystal's holding in her hand, replace a couple of meals with that product, never felt hungry, felt a delicious tasting meal, saved money, saved time, and now the lifestyle that they have today is better than anything they've ever had before. Jeremy is also 45 pounds lighter after using the Organo shake. Actually, he's lost over 54 pounds in the first 90 days, over 54 pounds that he was able to lose just using the Organo shake, and replaced two different meals per day just with the Organo shake. And so when you start to take a look at the success that people are having, here's Harmony Shaw, who lost over 60 pounds using the Organo shake. Her first 90 days, ladies and gentlemen, and 90 days to lose 60 pounds by using a weight management shake. We've got two delicious flavors. We've got vanilla and we've got chocolate. And one of the things that I do with mine, and you can do it with yours, I take the vanilla shake, I'll add me some frozen pineapple, some frozen mangoes, strawberries, a half a banana with a little bit of blueberries. And I can tell you right now, there's not a smoothie company in the world that has a product smoothie or smoothie that tastes as good as the Organo smoothie, that is as economical as Organo's product, but most importantly, that is as effective as the Organo product as well. And so the weight management industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry as well. My question for you is this: who do you know that's looking to lose weight? Who do you know that's looking to be in better health? Waking up in the morning, I used to go to Chick-fil-A and I would get my little 6 chicken minis. It would cost me about $7 to $8 when I ordered my orange juice and some of the tater tots with it. Well, guess what? I would drive to Chick-fil-A, the time that it would take me. It was about $7 to $8 to do that. I've got to drive there. I'm using time and I'm eating something that's unhealthy. Right now, it takes me about 3.5 minutes to prepare myself my own smoothie in the morning. I do it right from my own home. I put it right there in my little NutriBullet, whip it up 3.5 minutes, and I've got my breakfast and I'm ready to go. And even at lunchtime, I have to force myself to eat, because after eating that shake, I'm not even hungry. So my question for you, ladies and gentlemen, is, are you the one who needs to lose a little bit of weight or want to maintain a healthier lifestyle? And my second question is, do you know of other people who are looking to lose weight or maintain a healthier lifestyle? See, when you answer yes to those questions, what that means is, that means that you're actually a candidate for the Organo business. What I want to share with you, what we've done with these products that we actually offer, is that we've combined the most incredible products that people actually want. We're not saying that they need them. Remember, people who sell products that you need make money. When you offer products that people want, you actually can build a fortune. We've taken products that people want. We've taken an industry and a company in Organo, and we've actually combined it with the industry and the concept of network marketing or multi-level marketing. If you remember what I said before, I said that Robert Kiyosaki gave some incredible advice. He said that the average person gets up and go to work, but rich people, or people who are on the other side of the money, actually build networks. I want to share with you now the concept of being able to build a network. See, if you've thought of any one person since I've been talking, you've already started the process of building a network. The second step is actually getting paid for the thoughts that you've already been having during this presentation. What Organo has done is put together a compensation plan that is second to none. And I want to share with you a couple of concepts of how our compensation plan actually does work. I'll give you some examples of what takes place and give you some of the results of lifestyle of what's even possible here with Organo. There's several different ways in which we actually earn income in Organo. And I'm actually going to take out my little pad here, and I'm going to share with you and draw some things on the whiteboard here and share with you how we make money with Organo. There's 7 different ways that we actually are able to earn an income. And instead of me going through every phase of income, I'm going to give you what I call the test drive. What do I mean by the test drive? If you've ever gone out and purchased a car, it's likely that you weren't so interested in reading the manual of the engine, how it was put together, all the specs of the engine, and every aspect of what was under the hood. Most likely you were like me. You wanted the car salesperson to give you the keys and allow you to take it for a test drive to see if you could feel it, see if you can see yourself driving this car, to see if it fit your personality. Well, ladies and gentlemen, right now, over the next 7 minutes, what I want to do is I want to give you what I call the Organo test drive. This is to determine whether or not you are a great candidate to build a business here. One of the things that I noticed before I give you the test drive is I typically would have about 4 types of people who are actually listening to my presentation. The first type of person is the person who's looking, and you know what? Maybe they don't see anything within our opportunity and they don't see anything within the products. They're essentially what I call the no-no people. It's no problem, it's okay. Typically out of every 100 people that I talk to, I found about 4 to 5 no-no people. And guess what? You have the complete right to be there, that person. The person who invited you, if you're a no-no person, they're not going to call you back. They're not going to try to change the number that you are. We understand that right now, this opportunity or our products are actually not for you. The second type of person is the person who says, no, I'm not looking for this opportunity, but you know what? I like what you're talking about with these products. And that's person number 2. We show those people how to get involved in our business, either at the wholesale level or become a retail customer. Most of those people are not building a real big business. The person number 3 is the person who says, yes, I'm looking, I like the opportunity, and yes, I like your products. The majority of these people are actually looking to make themselves an extra $1,000, $1,200, maybe up to $1,500 on a monthly basis. What I have found is over 50% of the people who join Organo, they're number 3s. A little bit more than 50% are number 3s. So if that fits your category, that's fine. My very first time in network marketing, I was only looking to make $1,000 a month to replace that internship income that I was actually earning. And then once I got exposed to what the possibilities were, I quickly developed into a person number 4. This is the person who has a huge yes to the opportunity. This is the person who also sees a big yes within the product. This is a person who's saying, yes, I'm so glad you got me onto this call because I'm looking to have my dreams and my reality within the same circle. I just didn't have the vehicle. And so what I want to do right now is to share with you how to do that. I want to share with you how we're actually going to use the Organo system, our compensation plan, and give you what I call the test drive of what we do. Simply put, there's 2 things that we do in Organo. The very first thing that we do is we build a retail organization or retail business, which is very simple. My question that I'll ask you is this, based off what I've mentioned here, can you imagine yourself having or accumulating at least 10 customers to take or consume the Organo products, either our coffee, our tea, our hot chocolate, maybe our weight management products, or even the Ganoderma capsules themselves? So if you said yes to that, just imagine that's 10 customers that you'll accumulate. What I find is that the average customer, ladies and gentlemen, they actually buy about 2 units of our products every month. That means that you're selling about 20 products per month. I teach people how to do this really within their first week. In this example, I'm only talking about your first 30 days. But if you've got 20 products and the average product actually has a $15 retail commission associated with it, what you've done is you've actually earned $300 in retail income. You may be looking and saying that's not a lot of money, but I want you to understand $300 retail through a residual plan is much better than actually earning over $1,000 a month or $1,000 a week on someone else's job. Let me explain. See, in this example, it only took you 30 days to do it. That means after your first 30 days, you just service those customers and you got a $3,600 per year income provided those consumers that you keep them supplied with product. But what happens is this here. What if you wanted to work 2 months? What if you say, I'm going to go ahead and do this for 4 months. Every month for 4 months, I'm going to get 10 customers. That means at the end of 4 months, you've got 40 customers. You've got a $1,200 a month income coming in month after month after month after month, $14,400 per month. My question for you is this: how much in real estate would it take for you to invest to have $1,200 per month coming in net free income? Ladies and gentlemen, I have a pretty strong real estate portfolio, but this is why I do Organo, because I didn't have to start with going out there getting $100,000, $200,000, or $300,000 loan, and I didn't have to deal with tenants. All I had to do was offer a person a sample of coffee, find out if they like the product and what it does for them, and I now set them up as a preferred customer and I service them on a monthly basis. That's retail. But ladies and gentlemen, for those people who want to build a bigger income, if you see yourself being a leader or developing a team and having income that's earned on the efforts of a team, then one of the things that you can do as well is you can start the process. You can start that process of building yourself an organization. This is how it actually can look for you. I want to give you an example to show you what could actually happen over the next 18 months if you were able to start following a simple system that we have. Imagine months 1 through 6 here. Okay, here we go. Sorry about that. I want you to imagine months 1 through 6. Let's just say, do you believe that you can go out and sponsor 10 people who will become what I call person number 3 or person number 4? Somebody who's looking for part-time income or somebody who's looking for both circles to come in place. Well, if you said yes to that, what about months 6 through 12? If we taught those 10 people how to enroll their 10, now you've got 100. Months 12 through 18, we show those 100 how to enroll their 10. That means at the end of 18 months, in this example, you've got 1,000 distributors that you have that's a part of your organization. Here's where the money starts to roll in. Imagine having 1,000 distributors in your organization. Remember, what are we going to teach each distributor the first 30 days? How to go out and get 10 customers. When you look at that, you've now got 10,000 customers that are part of your network, your consumer network. The average customer, as I mentioned, buys 2 products per month. That means that there's 20,000 units of product that you're actually getting paid on, ladies and gentlemen. Now, here's where the money starts to roll in. The average product in Organo, let's just use the least of our products, has what's called 15 cash volume or commissionable volume that's associated to it. That's 300,000 in commissionable volume that your organization has produced in the 18th month. Now remember, those customers are always there, so that means month 19, if no one else gets customers, that same volume is there. Well, what does this translate to in terms of income? If you've got 300,000 in commissionable volume, Organo's going to pay you somewhere between 3 and 7% on the entire income, with incomes number 4, incomes number 5, 4, 5, 6, and 7, the residual income. Let's just use an even number here, like 5%. If you take 5% times the 300,000, that's still a $15,000 monthly residual income, month after month after month after month after month, because you've actually gone out and built a network. If you think networking is not for you, I want to give you some of the best networkers that we've seen lately. Have you ever heard of this little small company called Airbnb? Airbnb is a company that today, they sell out more sleeping rooms than the top 5 hotel chains combined, and they own none of the real estate whatsoever. All they've done is empowered people who either have homes, second homes, vacation homes, or properties, and they've given them the power to lease out their rooms, and they earn a commission, and Airbnb, because of the network, earns a small percentage on it. Take a concept like Alibaba, where Jack Ma started, who's the richest man in China. Didn't know much about computers, but he knew that people all over the world wanted to do business with other businesses. Jack Ma has actually become the richest man in China, produces none of the products whatsoever, but he has a network where people all over the world are able to transact business. And what he does is he takes a small percentage of it. I'll give you another big one here. A company called Uber. Travis Kalanick, who was the CEO of Uber, founded that company on the premise that every single person wanted a taxi, but they wanted it much faster. He produced a company that became the fastest growing company in the history of the world. After 2.5 years, they were larger than all taxi cab companies around the entire globe. And ladies and gentlemen, Travis Kalanick and Uber owns none of the vehicles that are out there on the road. They simply empowered other individuals to use their car to hit their button, turn their business on when they wanted to, and Uber just takes a small percentage. I've been able to do the exact same thing, ladies and gentlemen. I started to build myself a very small network. And what I did is I allowed other people, their friends, their family, and I allowed them just to take a small square footage of maybe about 2 to 3 square foot of their own apartment, their home, or wherever it was, of their own personal products that they would sell. And I allowed them to do business through Organo, through our website. And because of that, all of those transactions that take place in all these countries, we simply make a very small commission based on that. If you want to understand exactly what I'm talking about, I'll share with you an idea of how it was for me in the very beginning. Okay? And I share this with you by using no claims whatsoever. Here's a photo. Here's myself and my son, and I went to share with him the house that I actually grew up in. I grew up in this house. It was 600 square feet. It was only 2 bedrooms in this house, 1 bathroom. And this is when I actually thought I lived in a mansion, because we lived in apartments all of our lives. But because of the information that I was giving of go to school, get a good education, and get a good job, that was the mindset that provided this particular neighborhood. So my mother took her information, which was the incorrect information, and this is where we were. What I did, ladies and gentlemen, is I actually started to look at people around the world who built networks. And I took a little bit of my revenues from my particular network in Organo, and I was able to actually build and buy this home here, which is my second home that I have in California. I don't say this as an income claim or to say that you get involved, this is where you're going to live. I simply share this with you to let you know, because networks of people all around the world who are selling coffee, you can actually earn a small percentage of it, and you can start having your cake and eat it too. How do you get started with Organo? Very simple of how to get started. There's several packages that we actually offer in Organo that I want to share with you. The very first package that we have, I'll share it with you here in a second. So I put my screen up, is what we call our starter kit. Our starter kit is $49. It allows you to get yourself positioned with Organo. It allows you to start the process of being able to sell our products or buy our products at wholesale. But if you want to go out and build a bigger business and you want to become a person who's number 3 or number 4, what we have is several different options. The first one here is called the Bronze Pack. The Bronze Pack is an additional $225. You're going to get about $250 worth of products with that. Enough for you to sample, enough for you to sell one of those packages to a customer. But it's not, a really, really big package. Organo starts you off at 10% commissions with this particular package, and this allows you to start enjoying the benefits of the network to the tune of 10% all the way down through infinity. The second package is what we call the Silver Pack. The Silver Pack is $450. Obviously, you'll notice you'll get more product, about $450 in product. Some to use and many to sell, giving you the flexibility and the option to build a larger income if you choose to. Silver Pack also upgrades you to 15% commissions, ladies and gentlemen. But the ultimate pack is what we call the Organo Gold Pack. The Organo Gold Pack, $1,249. It's going to give you about $1,300 in products, more products for you to use, more products for you to sell, essentially giving you the potential to earn much more income as well. The Organo Gold Pack starts you off with 20% commissions, which is the maximum. Those are the same commissions that I earn. Those are the same commissions that many of our top earners all around the world are earning. And you're able to start there from day one. I strongly suggest that if you're watching this video today, text a person, email them, phone, call them, or whatever it may be, and let them know which number you are. I urge you, don't do what I did in the very beginning. I waited 4 months because I didn't drink coffee, and I didn't think I could do this until I saw Warren Buffett talk about making a product that you like, or making a product that everybody likes, your business. And ladies and gentlemen, I lost out on 4 months of what my income is today, not 4 months on what it was when I got started. That's the way that I look at it. Get with them today. Get yourself in business. And I want to go ahead and urge each and every one of you right now. In September, we're going to have what's called our Organo Expo. It will be the largest convention that we have on an annual basis in Las Vegas, Nevada. If you're not registered for it, if you're a distributor listening in, get registered today. And if you're a guest here, I want you to ask the person who invited you, how do you participate there? All of the experts, every millionaire that we have in Organo will be present. The CEO, myself, our global master distributor will be in place as well. New product announcements, new technologies, new strategies will be offered there. For anybody who's a Series 3, or if you consider yourself a 4, you must be at Organo Expo. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure for me presenting to each and every one of you. I want you to make sure that you get yourself involved in Organo, and tomorrow at 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, there will be another Red Zone Blitz call just like this one with another one of our $1 million earners that will be presenting tomorrow. I can't wait to see you at Expo, and remember, it's easy, it's simple, it's Organo. See you guys at the top, and congratulations.